Cool. That was a D4. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome back to the Liberal Arts Podcast. I'm your host, Bodio Papula, and with me I have Kaylie Horowitz.
Still hanging on.
And Andy Gibby Gibson.
Falling off the cliff.
Y'all, it has been approximately 24 hours since the Super Bowl, and I'm already tired of hearing about it.
You were like, they went to Disneyland. Whatever, we're past it.
It's cool. It's fine. Football happened. It's okay.
Yeah. The Benito Bowl was great. That's
Benito Bowl.
Yeah.
The Benito Bowl, yeah.
It was great. It was a good time. They had Pedro Pascal.
Oh my god, Pedro. I love that idea that like we had the Super Bowl in California and we're gonna force fuck ass New England to cross the entire country 3 time zones back, and then Seattle probably just got schlepped down on a bus.
Hell yeah.
Probably not. Like, they did probably fly, of course. But just, like, that image of just, like, the Pacific Coast road trip that they could have taken if they so chose, you know?
Bring your whole ass here just to get it beat. That's what I'm here for.
Cross the entire country just for a smackdown.
For this ass whipping.
Y'all enjoying those salty Boston tears up in Buffalo?
Oh, hell yes. Mostly just because, like, again, like, it's not like we don't have other NFL teams kind of interspersed. Like, it's the heart of Bills country up here. Of course, you sound treacherous if you're saying that you're rooting for any other team. And it's nothing against the people. Like, there are people that I enjoy, like, in my circles that's like, yeah, I know this about you. But then there are some behaviors that they do that I feel like come out of being a fan of the Patriots, where they just get so smug about it for some reason that I'm just like, I can't wait for the grin to get slapped off your face in front of the TV. And I don't feel sorry about it.
I'm a very merciful person. The entirety of Boston sports fandom has not suffered enough for the success that they have had within the last 20 years. I need them to
Boston?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. But that's the problem. It's not even like Boston. It's every fucking where else that gets on like a Patriots bandwagon. Like, that's the thing that I've encountered. It's hardly actually Bostonians.
Give you a stewing.
No,
He is
no.
boiling over.
No. Between the Bruins, the Celtics, the Pats, the Sox, between all of them, I need them to go through the 40-mile crawl upon the broken glass, and then they can taste championship glory again. Oh, it's Title Town up here in Boston. I have a lot of deep unresolved trauma about Boston sports that really I shouldn't have, but God, I sound like a Radio Shock jock.
We all have our trauma, and sometimes it includes a soundboard.
It's just like
Sometimes it includes a green wall.
America's most racist town gets the most sports championships, and it's just the worst. No, that's
Boston,
not probably
Tuscaloosa.
Scientifically accurate, but
Right,
like,
is Boston one of the most racist towns in America?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, like, I'm just thinking, well, surely there's got to be worse, right?
Look,
Probably, but like documented.
Fair. Yeah.
In a town with that much funding and that much like technological breakthroughs and like incredible schools, it should not be as racist as it is. Like,
And
they
yet,
got, like-
despite it all,
They got Chuck Taylors up there, man. I love Converse, but I can't go there.
this is a town that was so racist that they hated like all of their incredible black players, like, but they were just like, oh, but it's Title Town. It's like, who do you think won those titles, you stupid bastards?
Shout out to Boston. We hope you've improved, and we're just wrong.
I don't.
Dropkick
I hope
Murphy
you
Gibby
suffer.
save us.
Oh man, y'all want to jump on topic?
Yeah.
Suppose
Yeah, man.
we could do that.
It's Oscar season,
Yeah.
as we started in the last episode with. And since Guillermo del Toro is in Oscar season, we have another reason to be spooky.
Yeah.
So of course we jumped on that
We have a Friday the 13th. Right.
We
when
do.
This episode
We
drops out
do.
tomorrow. Look at your
Yeah.
calendar. It's a Friday the 13th. We're getting
Spooky.
spooky in February because why would we buy chocolate before Valentine's Day when we could buy chocolate after Valentine's Day when it's discounted? So for
True.
now, we remain spooky.
shit. So we have the two best American holidays, Friday the 13th and Discount Chocolate Day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Get your serial killer hatchets and go to the discount chocolate section. That's the combination of those two things together.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
baby. Cut those hearts in half. Nah, man, it's Frankenstein. Me, like many people on the planet, have emotions and feelings about this.
Well, you'd
Yeah.
be surprised. Apparently, there's people that don't.
Yeah, but they're assholes. Anyway, for me, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I'm gonna have to say Mary Shelley's a lot today,
Mary Shelley, Mary Shelley, Mary Shelley.
like Beetlejuice. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was one of the first, like, I wouldn't say adult books, but that makes it sound like pornography. Grown up books. It was one of the first grown up books that I ever read. When I was around 4th grade. To keep a long story short, they made reading difficult in middle school, in elementary school.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it was Bush. It was No Child Left Behind. They were forcing us to read, and I hated it. But my mom wanted to keep me reading, so she started buying me some books. You know, she goes to Books A Million, grabs the classics. She grabs in that first round Alice in Wonderland, Swiss Family Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
The Man in the Iron Mask, and Frankenstein. Swiss Family Robinson I wasn't into. The other three I loved. So for me, I kind of imprinted on this story because, again, it's one of like the first. It's like, oh, I'm reading like grown up books now, and then Kaylie and I have brought this up before. One of the shows we were in together in college was Frankenstein back in 2015. I think it was.
Hashtag, or it's 2016.
2016. Yeah.
Hashtag close the, or no. Yes.
Let's close the
it was
curtain, right?
2016.
Yeah.
No. It was
It was
2016.
it was the year. It was 25. It was the year Trump won. It was 2015. It was after Pokemon Go.
Oh no, because 15 was my like foray into being mentally traumatized by a theater department. Everyone who
Hell
goes through
yeah.
a program gets one of them at least. And that was the fall show then.
Yeah.
Frankenstein was the following fall season. And it was
Are you
also
sure?
It was
'Cause we
2016.
Was it 60? It had.
It was-
Because I remember.
I've got
the-
this. I've got this. It was 2016 because I had a beard and I didn't have one in the
That's
fall of
true.
2015.
Because our
That's
first show
true.
was the day after the election.
Yeah.
And everybody came to opening night depressed as hell.
Yup.
Great, you're in the perfect mood for this show.
Oh my god. Hashtag didn't close the ghost door. If you know, you know.
I waited a couple days to see the show, and it was a great show. And I apologize for the
Yeah.
fact that I had a cold and I was sniffling the entire time.
Were
You're feeling
Yeah.
the effect of the environment. You're feeling that Arctic air.
Oh no! It wasn't
in
that I was
Alabama.
sniffling. It's that I was coughing and I didn't have a cough drop available, and I was just like,
Oh.
"Oh no, I'm gonna ruin the show."
I mean, I was on. I was on in the very beginning and the very end. I had like 3 monologues, and that's all I
Bookended
did.
it,
Princess
baby.
Track. Oh, fuck. Honestly, you and me both. I was triple cast in that show. I was
were.
in or actually no, I wasn't. I could have been, and I thought I was going to be. And our director was literally like, "Nope, you're just gonna do this one thing." When I had been so used to shows that are like, "Oh yeah, and then you're gonna do this, and then this, and then this, and you're gonna costume change every single time."
Yeah.
I was, picture me, viewer. Look at my little cartoonish illustration of my faceless little head. I am pasty and redheaded.
Mm-hmm.
I played Saifi, the Turkish princess.
We
And
wrote
it
it
was
in to be an
truly-
albino Turkish princess.
There was some questionable justification. I did not do dark makeup, nothing like
No.
that. No,
God.
no. But there was she's royalty. She would not have been out in the sun. She could potentially have been, fairer complexion. They still put me in a, dark black wig and headscarf and what have you.
Mhm.
But it was truly because I think they didn't really trust too many other people with the dialect. Like she was
Yeah.
speaking in Turkish in the show. And oh my God, our set designer, amazing woman who I'm you know too many secrets and I wish to know them.
Fareshte.
Gave me dialect coaching and taught me a song for one of the moments in the show that I was just you know what? On the outside, there's a lot of questionable reading of this, but some of what I'm getting to do here, just learning from you about this shit, fucking cool. Super, super cool.
Shout out to Fareshte, man. She was so cool.
Also, trying to make ourselves relevant in the scope of pop culture right now. Dropout just announced some people that are going to be joining for the next season of Adventuring Academy, and one of them was our dramaturg for that show, Dr. Emily Friedman.
Oh, really? That's
Hey,
fun.
how about
Yes.
that?
Oh my God, you don't follow
No,
her?
don't, we have
on
to stay on topic.
Twitter.
We
I
have
know,
to stay on
I know.
topic, Kaylee.
But
There's a
Hold it.
lot of inside baseball on this episode, y'all. I'm
There
just
Yeah,
gonna
we-
warn
we
you.
Shout
gone
out
too
to
deep.
Friday on Twitter and Blue Sky if you don't already follow them. But
Right, you might-
anyways,
You might have to do a little clipping, Gibby. I'm sorry.
sorry, Gibby.
No. This is deeply important to y'all, and the amount of Frankenstein conversations we've had over the last 10 years or so. It's time for it all to come to light.
all the vomit it all up. But no, suffice to say, this is a piece that's important to myself. It's a piece that's pretty important to Kaylee. And Kaylee, I'll let you speak more about your background with it outside of the Auburn stuff. Yeah, Gibby, I don't know how you feel about it before we get into it either.
How do you feel about Frankenstein?
If there's no neck bolts, what's the point?
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, it's all good. He's an iconic monster. It's an iconic Boris Karloff production. And I have nothing further to say until we get to the actual movie that we're talking about. But I will mention, I am a giant Guillermo del Toro fan, so
Fair enough.
there may be some standing. So you have been warned.
Totoro-san.
There was an actress that used to call him Totoro-san.
Yeah.
On
I feel like that's public knowledge-ish.
yeah, on the little girl on the Pacific Rim set called him that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds mean.
No, it was truly she was struggling
say
to
Del Toro,
pronounce his
yeah.
name, and because he's big, friendly, and
dude, yeah.
slightly bushy guy, he's like, you can call me Totoro.
Sweet
And
man,
that's
love
just
him.
how I think of him sometimes, is Totoro-san.
Sorry, back to you, Kaylee. For real.
No, I don't remember reading Frankenstein in full in high school. I feel like we must have read excerpts and snippets at some point because it's Mary Shelley. I think my first real contact with the material of it though was, I think, similar to Gibby, was kind of coming from film side of things, but also in theater, in that my senior year of high school, right when we graduated, we got invited as part of high school groups to go to Edinburgh Fringe. And we devised an original piece that was all about monsters and monster movies. And it was sketch comedy nonsense. We're flashing between, here's a parody of the Wolf Man. Here's, instead of I Love Lucy, it's I Love Mummy. And here's the mummy wrapped up in bandages and a 50s housewife dress. And we did a dating show. There was a through line that we did with Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein that I got to play. And it was just very silly, goofy nonsense. And I think I started down we're already parodying the idea of Frankenstein. That this is a story that notoriously, along with Dracula, Nosferatu, this is one of these things that has started one way and gone down like 5 different like genealogical like lineages of adaptation and inspiration and recreation of how people know and recognize Frankenstein. And so I feel like I've just kind of been backtracking ever since. Like doing that production in college was the first time I think I got the closest to the original text, because that is, I'm blanking on the playwright's name right now, but that is one of the most like page to stage adaptations of the book, versus the pieces that kind of trim out some of the like, and now we're just in the French countryside for a while, and like, yeah, things are happening, but nothing's like happening. So,
Yeah.
whereas, you know, Mary gets a nice fair moment of like pastoral longing that cannot be obtained by the creature, things like that. We get a little bit more mundanity watching Victor kind of lose his mind in some ways. That sometimes audiences don't like when nothing's happening and characters are developing, though. Shocker.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. And we can go ahead and start talking about the movie.
Yeah, let that preface where a lot of the divide has been about this movie.
Yeah, and I think I stand on I stand on a side, but I get why. It's interesting where Del Toro decided to change the script, as it were, or I guess change the story, change the narrative a little bit. How, Gibby, I guess I'll ask you because you're the least familiar. How familiar are you with like the original text and story?
Well, I was supposed to be very familiar because we were going to read it in 7th grade, but then they changed it to Hatchet, which we had read the year before. God, I'm really beefy this episode. Anyways.
Gibby's ready to fight someone.
My pettiness knows no bounds. Anyways, a lot of my familiarity with the original story comes from the graphic novel version of the story, which was interesting to me because as a kid, like, Frankenstein is like maybe one brain cell away from being like a George Romero zombie. Like he's not presented as intelligent. Like no. Frankenstein in a lot of media. I mean,
I made a face for the listeners.
Yeah, like Frankenstein in a lot of media is just seen as like a shambling corpse, raging monster, no like thought, anything like that, which is like the kind of thing you get exposed to, I think, in my earliest vision of Frankenstein being like Alvin and the Chipmunks meet Frankenstein, the animated classic. So it was very surprising to me when I read through this graphic novel version as a teenager, and the monster was pretty eloquent, intelligent, like had this deep sense of ennui and longing, but was still like able to like release into that rage at times. So I was familiar with the amount of depth that could go into it, and that was expanded upon with the play that y'all did, because like Frankenstein in the show talks a lot.
Yeah.
Both
He's got
of them,
feelings. Victor and the creature, yes.
Yes. Victor's feelings are often just louder than the creature's. So, like, I had a fair degree of familiarity, but not to the point that I'd say you had, Bo.
Yeah, I always describe it as the creature sidebar. I've always referred to it as the monster. I like that in this movie they called him the creature. I'm like, I like that. I like that more. I'm going to start doing that.
Weirdly, I expected them to call him Adam.
Ooh.
Or Prometheus.
Yeah.
I was really expecting them to give him a name. We're getting sidetracked again, but fuck it. It's interesting that nobody's taken the time to give the creature a name outside of incorrectly calling the creature Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because like even Shelley did it. You know?
That's the thing. I think that is the point, though, is that Mary herself never opted to name it. I think the misnomer of like, well, yeah, it's a big scary dead thing. Yeah, of course we would call it a monster. But in so much of this film really highlighting that question of, but who is Yeah, it's textually usually referred to as creature, but not everybody does.
Yeah, that's something that I want to bring up first as well. And this is one of the things that people seem contentious about online. Although, like, I'm no Frankenstein expert, I do have a lot of familiarity with how Del Toro views monsters. And basically, his whole life, Del Toro has been
Fuckable.
very sympathetic towards monsters. Like, he has such a deep fascination with them that it's rare that you see, like, any sort of, like, monster viewed as like a villain or antagonist outside of like maybe like Pan's Labyrinth, which I think is a gigantic
Pacific Rim.
influence on this movie.
Yeah. Or Pacific Rim, where the whole point is it's Gundams. We have to kill the monsters.
Sometimes we can have a little dumb fun as a treat.
I love that stupid movie. It's
Me
so rad.
too.
But to go back to where I started,
Yeah.
I've always described the creature as less Incredible Hulk, more Quasimodo,
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the curse of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's a 200-year-old book.
Yeah.
Right. It's a
The
200-year-old
original
piece.
science fiction story.
Yeah. It's kind of boring. It just straight up is. We don't tell
As
stories
is the
like
origins for most science fiction.
that. You trust, but like we don't tell stories like that anymore. The whole premise of it is, what if a dude made a guy, but he wasn't happy with it, right? And the creepiness comes from the contemplation, the quiet moments, the men. We're getting a bit deep into our personal lives. The three of us were in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for a short amount of time. We've played more since, but in this one, I played a character who was a 6'7" tattooed barbarian man, who spoke in nonsense, but also had expertise in stealth. So the party would be having a conversation with somebody. I would get bored. I would move away, and this giant creature would just disappear, and it was horrifying for everybody. That's the creature. He's not going around raging and like tearing down buildings. He's capable of doing that, but in a lot of Mary Shelley's text, he just kind of pops up and then he disappears. Then he pops up and he disappears, and you can't duck him. Because again, it was a ghost story originally, so he's more of a ghost than he is, I don't know, a bear? Question mark.
Every Christmas, I'll be there.
Yeah, but really, it's like he pulls up, he does something spooky, he kills somebody, he takes something, he breaks something, and then you can't find him. It's like,
flips off Victor, leaves.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And Victor can't escape him. He runs to the North Pole as far as he can go, and then the creature comes to him. Hey, bud. You know.
I give you life. Why? I don't know. I'm gonna fuck with you the rest of your life, buddy.
Right.
And that's on having children. No, like, I mean, this is one of those, and I have not had the chance to fully, like, brush up on my Shelley scholars, because there's, you know, for a 200-year-old text, there are a lot of people that have potentially put words in Mary's mouth that weren't there and had their own interpretations and whatnot. But there is the greater look, sort of a feminist take on it, that is, this is a story of womb envy. That this is hey, don't the problems that men and patriarchal systems seem to create come out of the fact that we are, you know, constantly, like, devaluing, ignoring, you know, any contribution of women, and this idea, the fact that we only continue to perpetuate because women create new life. So let's take that, have some guy go a little stir crazy going, yeah, I could do that, and then go insane because of it.
I hear that. I don't agree, but I hear that.
Oh no, it is kind of one of these like takes that's contested, again, whether it's textual evidence, just argumentative for whatever reason, but it is a lens, an interpretation on it that I hear very often, and especially in the current moment right now of like, we keep putting men in charge of things and they keep getting worse. Can we finally switch to a matriarchy? Please?
The monkey's paw will curl and you will get President Taylor Green.
Fuck!
I feel like
gagged.
When we discuss like high-level literary theory like that, we should be sitting around with pipes, like wearing incredibly fancy clothes.
Yeah, Gibby, you're gonna have to bring us down because Kaylie and I are gonna get like philosophical up in this bitch.
No, I like this. I like it. I'm here for it. Like, I feel like I'm listening to NPR.
Thank you.
You're listening to NPR.
By the way, fund
Please
us.
Send
Give
help.
us funding. If we're talking interpretations, can we talk more about Del Toro's interpretation of it?
Yeah, dude.
It's so pretty. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous.
Pretty. The costumes are insane.
Yeah. All of that is true. I'm talking about like story and like
I know.
I
had to get that out of the way first because
yes,
I think this is I have never been in love with like a Frankenstein aesthetic for many adaptation before. I am obsessed with the way that this world is built out. It's gorgeous, and it does
gothic.
such a good job. Exactly, like gothic, beautiful, like storytelling, like costume as storytelling aid in characters, and also just like fleshing out. Like I think we forget the fact that it's like Victor comes from insane wealth and like heritage. Like we forget that he's not just
he's
a
guy.
Noble.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Like there's so much that is costume language in this film that helps remind us of that as the story continues and certain characters go through, rise and fall kind of shit. That the book is hard to contain a lot of that, from my perspective at least, of just like reminding myself of that. But also I feel like we choose to ignore that. We make him just a scientist in a lot of film work or what have you. But being reminded of the class and status of these characters in those little subtleties drives home a lot more of that story of the creature like contending with all this and this is what you choose to do. Like,
how do we feel about the added drama that Mr. Del Toro decided to put in the movie?
So you'll have to be specific about what's added.
So there's a couple Victor's spoilers ahead, by the way, whatever. Go watch Frankenstein. It's fucking dope. Victor's Oedipal what's the word I'm looking for? Oedipal complex.
Yeah.
His
Eucaustic is women. Never mind. But yes, you're correct.
Yeah. His Oedipal complex, William's age, William and Elizabeth being engaged, Elizabeth's entire interpretation in this piece is kind of I have opinions.
His dad an important factor in the book?
He dies in the book. He doesn't die off screen. He dies because so William is a boy, right? William is tiny, and the creature kills Victor's brother, William, the blonde guy. The creature kills William on accident.
Yeah.
And that drives their father into despair, and that's how he dies.
Versus in the movie, like
he's just kind of an asshole, and he dies off screen.
He's a man. He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Versus, like, in Del Toro's movie, you have mama trauma as well as, like, daddy issues.
None of that's in the original text.
I'm going to place all of my hopes and dreams upon you. You're going to be the great doctor. And then there's William, my favorite boy.
Yeah, that's not.
He doesn't need to worry about any of that. He just needs to be a little sunshine beam. Yes,
just
you do.
Vibe, little friend. Just vibe. Here's a carriage. Go crazy.
All of that is original. Christoph Waltz's character is completely original.
Yeah.
As much as I love Christoph Waltz, that character, I'm like,
yeah, I'll excuse it.
Elizabeth's interpretation. I have a lot to say about Elizabeth. Most
Ooh.
of it neutral actually.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth's entire interpretation is original. Shout out to Mia Goth, you did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You looked wistful as fuck, girl.
Those are the big ones. Am I missing anything else, Kaylie?
Oh, there were some things I think we also lost that I can't remember.
Yeah.
Apparently we're getting
The Romani family. The Romani
yes,
family
we
got
did
removed.
adapt the family that the creature observes when
Yeah.
he learns speech by observing a family in the supposedly the French or like the Swiss countryside sort of thing in the mountains. In the original text, yeah, it is that implied that there is a young woman ushered from safety from, presumably somewhere in the Turkish Empire. The son is a peasant boy of the old blind man, and here we kind of adapt, some of what that family is for, updating its sake. Apparently we are getting a director's cut version of this film with some things that got left out. So I'm very curious to know, Mr. Del Toro, how much more content there is, and what are we putting back in?
We
also
also
2.5 hours. God damn.
We also never get any sequence of Victor making a companion for the creature.
Yeah,
No,
they
and
cut that
that's-
completely.
That is actually something exactly in the original book. We are getting part of that creation, and it's just stopped before it's complete. But that was something Ian was actually wondering. It's like, it feels like there's not. We suddenly just get to the wedding. We suddenly just get to that moment once we've set the pieces in place. So like, were there things cut for time in the midst of that? Because there's probably potentially more to be had there.
Well, the order of operations is weird, right? Because the creature comes in, he kills in Mary Shelley's. The creature pulls up, he kills William. He says, "Make me a companion, or else I'm going to do it to you. I'm going to kill you too." Victor creates the companion, like creates her body and everything. And as he's like getting set to do the lightning storm, he's like, "This is wrong. Fuck this." Tears everything down, and that's when the creature says, I'm gonna break everything you love.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna go through and get everybody. And that's completely gone. Because I don't think there's room for it in this version.
Yeah. I mean, part of that.
Am I misremembering that, Kaylie?
No, I'm trying to make sure that you've got it placed. Yes, because he tells him, "I will be there on your wedding night."
Yeah.
But yeah, and William's death is always a little bit like, yeah, it's kind of an accident. It doesn't seem entirely like it's an accident, though. Let's be fair.
Gibby, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Well, like they kind of have like some of the elements there, but also like it's so different because it's split up into like the prologue with like, hey, you want to know why Victor's fucked up? Here you go. And then they have Victor's story of like the creation and everything. And like Victor's story goes all the way up until he basically blows up the entire lab trying to kill the creature. And then it's the creature's story up until the wedding. And then it's like back to them again.
That's how the book is set up.
We do also, I will say, because we age William up, we lose the hanging of, oh my God. Justine?
The maid, Justine. Yeah. Yes, because the creature kills William and William's handmaid.
Because he's a boy, everyone is like, well, you were the last person that was supposed to be minding him, like, what have you. Like, they hang a woman
because, again,
for that child's death.
Yeah. The creature has a 20 in stealth, so if he doesn't want to be seen, you do not see that guy.
This dude is a fucking bugbear. He's gigantic, but you cannot perceive him.
Yeah. If he does not want to be seen, he's a ghost.
It's John Cena.
No, he's
and
fucking.
Here comes the creature with a steel chair.
He's fucking.
Victor.
He's Drax the Destroyer. He's like, I'm very good at standing in character.
If I stand completely still, I will become imperceptible.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the reason that like many of those things are removed is like Del Toro's intent with the story and like the main like themes that he's got going on, you know?
I was gonna sneeze. Star.
Like
No, I mean he said from the rip. Del Toro's been trying to make this movie since 2009.
yeah.
And he said from the rip he was going to do a movie inspired by it, not necessarily a direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the record,
There it is. There's the sneeze.
we are allowed, for the love of God, we are allowed to do adaptations
Yeah.
on story. But y'all motherfuckers complain when it's an adaptation. You don't actually want a full 1-to-1 recreation. I'm just getting so fucking tired of everybody already
It's boring.
shitting on Wuthering Heights. Like, the movie hasn't fully come out yet. People are like, well, this isn't accurate. This isn't whatever. Like, Frankenstein's had God knows how many iterations. Nosferatu, Wuthering Heights. Like, again, fucking, hello? The Odyssey.
There it is. Yeah, The Odyssey.
Christopher Nolan. He's allowed
Yeah.
to adapt, but I'm gonna shit on some of his choices when it's like you're gonna come in here and say you're doing 1-to-1 when what you're doing is adapting. Shut the fuck up.
Yes to everything you just said. What the new Wuthering Heights movie? The trailers make it look like a porno, and I'm not here for it.
That's partly. Never mind.
Yeah.
We don't. Have time
I've
for
read the book. I get what you're saying. We'll talk about it later.
that. After Spooky Discount Chocolate Day, we will watch Wuthering Heights and come back to you.
We'll come back to
But-
Wuthering Heights. Shouts to
Exactly.
Margot
It's
Robbie.
an adaptation
Yeah.
of Frankenstein. He had the goal of wanting to focus the story in very specific ways.
Mm.
And actually I really appreciated like the title card splitting in the film of like part 1 Victor, part 2 the creature, and then the sort of part 3 is the and then where do we go?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
between the two of them.
Like it's less about the folly of man trying to play God, and it's more about generational trauma because
Isn't everything these days?
I'm so fucking sick of it. We said it. I can say this now. I'm so fucking tired of generational trauma movies. I get it. I'm a first generation American. I understand it. Fucking every Latino movie, every Chinese movie, every Asian movie, every black movie since 2002 has always been, oh, this generation doesn't understand that generation. We get it. Growing up is hard.
Well,
Make
yeah.
something different.
Traumatized,
The-
and trauma is passed down through a lineage.
Well,
I get it.
Ah!
The difference with this one is that like there isn't the like exact resolution of like I won't do this to the next generation because he can't reproduce or anything. Yeah, in the
Right.
end there's forgiveness, but like the whole deal is that Victor doesn't freak out when he brings the creature to life. Victor freaks out when it won't do what he wants it to do.
That choice was very interesting. That he
Yeah.
spent
Yeah.
the choice to say no. He spent a lot of months with the creature,
Yeah.
trying to educate it, but failing because he can't connect to his son.
And because the only way
I don't know
like,
how
he
to
knows-
underder my boy.
How do I reach these kids?
Leaf. That's how you reach them.
Well, yeah, like because he's trying to use his father's own methods of like no carrot,
Yeah.
only stick, like to like teach a baby basically.
Mm-hmm.
We see that when he gets frustrated,
Yeah,
but at that point, it's like they say it's like I spent months with the creature, and then
Yeah.
William and Elizabeth come. Elizabeth's all over the place, and then Victor's like, "Well, fuck her, I'll show her." Right. And at that point, he becomes his father. He gets the stick. He's like leg and starts beating him. But I'm like, okay, but the months before, he was chill. He was putting him in the basement with chains on him. That was uncool. And he wouldn't give that motherfucker a shirt. Give him some jeans, brother. Brother's in a
But he's
diaper
ripped.
bandage.
the same. Like
He's in the same diaper.
does the creature
like-
not have to shit?
I guess not.
I guess not.
Not if it doesn't have to eat. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
It's
going
already
on that's, like,
dead.
there's a lot that's going on that's different. For one, the creature is functionally unkillable.
Yeah.
But he
Which
has an
is-
open wound on his rib cage like he's Jesus.
Yeah.
I
There-
mean, if you couldn't tell, in a Del Toro movie, there's a lot of potential religious symbolism and
What?
questions.
Crazy.
The giant
So,
flaming angel with the skull face is Catholic.
it's
That
almost
goes fucking hard.
It does
I
go- it is
love
metal
that
as fuck.
shit.
It's almost like the two separate exorcisms that his great grandma performed on him using holy water had some sort of psychological effect on him.
Couldn't.
Crazy, right?
Family trauma, generational trauma.
Get it out of here! Stop making movies about it.
Yeah, but like the interesting thing is that like with that Jesus comparison, the movie really goes out of its way to be like this creature is completely blameless. Like there's kind of the shades of gray with like the book and the play of like accidentally killing William, or like in the Boris Karloff version, you have basically a creature that doesn't know any better that's like playing with a little girl by a pond and
Mhm.
accidentally drowning her. Like
Yeah.
in this one, the creature doesn't do anything bad like whatsoever.
Rips that
And
one
he
guy's
just keeps-
jaw off. That was metal.
That was
Yeah.
pretty sick. Also, he was getting shot at multiple times. So you know
True.
what? You know what? Yeah. Like he keeps getting blamed for stuff because Victor really goes out of his way to be a fucking asshole. Like as many times as possible. Just like, hey, you know Christoph Waltz over there? It was that guy in the basement that did it. As
Which
well
is-
as just like, no. He's the one that shot Elizabeth. That's crazy, man. How did the creature get a gun? That's crazy, dude.
Who gave him a gun? Whoa. No, there is an interesting point that this version, stands to make, which is that part of the reason Victor is, daddy issues McGee in this
Yeah.
one is that they are willing to make the claim, though, of the part of that difference of treatment between himself and his brother was entirely race-based,
Racial.
like phenotypic.
Mhm.
Like he came out, like sullen and dark-haired and a darker complexion versus his stepbrother at that point. Or no, William
Brother.
is
Yeah.
no, that's
They have
right.
the same
It's,
mom.
it's that his mother dies in childbirth.
Yeah.
But William is, fair, light-haired, the golden child sort of dichotomy there. You're Ismene and you're Antigone. That he, for no wrongdoing, received that treatment out of, factors outside of his control. That obviously generational trauma plotline, we see that carry through in the same way.
Racism. We can stop
But
dancing
yeah,
around the word.
that's the like this is a Frankenstein that goes, hey, part of this is also now in the equation.
Yeah.
Surprise.
And that was intentional.
Yeah.
Gibby actually shared with us a few weeks ago. Guillermo del Toro did an interview with NPR. Very good. Again, if it's del Toro, it's awesome.
Welcome back
But
to NPR.
He has a fire quote where he's like, I'd rather die than use generative AI, and that's why he's my king.
We love that man.
Absolutely.
But he explicitly said, he's like, no, I want to make this Latino. I want to make this Catholic. I want to put my interpretation on. He himself is Mexican Catholic. Oscar Isaac is Latino.
We haven't said like that's who is playing Frankenstein. Obviously, y'all should fucking know. But yeah, Oscar Isaac is phenomenal in this role. Holy fucking
The
shit.
last time we had him on the pod was Moon Knight. I forgot this
Right.
dude was fucking awesome.
I love him. Continue.
He's so good.
Mhm.
But yeah, the liberties I'm okay with. I have an opinion about it because I'm so familiar with the piece. But again, I don't think it's negative. I think it's just I'm pointing at all the stuff. I'm finding Waldo on all the pages. And I'm like, that's different.
Find
that's
the
different, that's
differences in
different,
these
that's
two
different.
pictures.
Right. Different doesn't mean bad.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where like internet conversation gets really messy. Somebody's like, that was weird. I didn't really appreciate it. It's like, that means you hate the movie. It's like, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
You know?
Which that like I love actually one of the things I think we forgot to mention in our like where are we spending our time, where are our differences in this take versus the original or just other interpretations. The time that we actually spend while Victor is like, pleading a case to the Academy and continuing the
cool.
research. Like,
God, that was dope.
It's fucking creepy shit, but like
That was
I
cool.
really actually enjoy that we're showing. And again, this book is originally Frankenstein, the modern Prometheus is how this was titled. Not Del Toro's, but like Mary Shelley
Shelley's.
writing in the 1800s. The sequence that we get of Victor connecting with Henry, who we haven't mentioned at all, really until now. There was a love triangle at one point, and now I guess it's William and Elizabeth instead of Henry, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Poor syphilis man. But Henry, interested in Victor's work, becomes his rich benefactor who starts funding the opportunity for him to explore what he needs, that the Academy has said, actually, we're going to shut that down because that's ethically fucked. That entire sequence that we get of them developing that relationship, I'm just like, oh my God, this is every fucking think tank crypto scheme, everything in this country right now.
Which was a big influence for Del Toro.
Insane people with no ethical regard for the what it is that they're actually doing.
Who also have syphilis.
Who
they want to be immortal.
Yeah.
Who have the connections to run into people with endless money and whims to just explore and fund these things. And the catastrophe that concoction brings upon the world.
May I offer a clarification? Because I didn't
Absolutely.
realize this until you mentioned Henry. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they wrote Henry out of it. No, just like he aged up William, he also aged up Henry.
Yeah.
And Christoph Waltz's character is Henry, which
Yes.
explains why he's, instead of the love triangle point between Victor, Henry, and Elizabeth, he's now Elizabeth's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like,
because original Henry was like buds with Victor, but exactly
homies.
Now it's Elizabeth. Here's my this rich dude. Oh, I'm so and so, and here's my niece Elizabeth. By the way,
but you wanted to keep the love triangle and making it like near incestuous. I don't know, but either way, I just connected that when you mentioned that. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that's who he was. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Mr. Del Toro.
But there's a lot in this that feels so contemporary, despite being adapted quite well to these are still science fiction-y circumstances of the Victorian world. So it's like a nice in between the lines of feeling tied to something historical and to that original text while feeling current enough in all the wrong ways that make you go, oh no.
Well, that's what I appreciate about this one, because the outline is the same, right?
Yeah.
Like, because so often there's fucking young Frankenstein, son of Frankenstein, Frankenstein, bride of Frankenstein, whatever, Igor, right? They all just like take the monster and then they run with it. Whereas this kept the general outline. You messed around with the pieces a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I could still tell what the story is supposed to be. I appreciate that with this piece over any other film version I've personally seen. I haven't seen the like really, really old, the 1933 one.
Yeah.
But either way,
it's worth seeing because of like how much influence it has. It does deviate some from it because stock monster like chase sequences and stuff like that. 30s.
Universal made the deliberate decision to deviate so that they could hold the copyright over their version.
Yeah.
Also, they went so hard with that movie that they had to start it with like some guy coming onto stage and saying like, the things that you're about to see depict the evil of man trying to play God. And when you have to put like a warning at the start of your movie, it's gonna be fucking dope.
I mean, but that again, that proves right just how different sensibilities are and where I kind of stand on. You can't do, to defend Kaylie's point from a number of minutes ago, you can't do a 1-to-1 translation of this story from page to screen because it will be boring as hell.
Yeah.
Right. Like, kind of like, again, to flashback to our conversation about Berserk, last week. Go listen to that episode and go watch Berserk. Prepare yourself. But one of the things
we're doing some interesting back-to-backs here.
It turns out that Griffith was the monster all along.
No.
But we mentioned that there were these exciting moments, and then the quiet moments are the ones we really get involved with, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The exciting moments keep us interested, but the quiet moments make us care.
Yeah.
The thing about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is that it's entirely quiet moments.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's just how books were written then, right?
Yeah.
There's no big war scene. There's no the opening scene, again, because of who I played in our stage version. I was the ship captain, so when they open up with the ship, I'm like, that's me. But the whole opening scene with everybody shooting at the creature, bringing out the blunderbuss, shooting the ice, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They find
We
Victor
are
on
in
the ice.
Arctic.
Yeah, they
but-
find him on the ice in the Arctic. They bring him inside, warm him up a little bit. He starts telling the story. The creature pops in through a porthole, and then he's like, listen to my side. Now I'm taking him, and goodbye. And then it's over.
Goodbye, Dutch guys. Goodbye.
And then he rolls a fucking nat 20 on stealth, and he disappears into the ice again. If he doesn't want to be seen, you will not find him. But and again, I don't think that translates into a modern movie. Like even with this movie, it's not in the horror category. It's a drama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
There's something that I really need to talk about.
okay.
Yes.
I really love Jacob Elordi's performance in this.
Oh
It was
my
pretty
god.
good.
I
it's
just
so
like
good.
I really I'd never watched like anything else that he had been in outside of maybe the SNL that he hosted, and I was like,
Sure.
yes, the tall boy. It's
a man of many talents, one of them being tall.
well, it's funny to think about. Like in the original casting of this movie, they were going to have Andrew Garfield play the creature,
Yeah.
which would
He's
be
also tall.
very. He's 5'10". Jacob Elordi's 6'5". Like there's
I would love
a
to
difference.
see Garfield
Is
in
Andrew
the
Garfield
stage
5'10"?
production.
Yeah,
of
which
this.
is still like relatively like tall for like your
Shut
average
up!
guy.
Fuck you.
But for the globe.
Shut up. Sorry, Kaylee, I interrupted you.
No, this is more important.
The difference is if they wanted him.
6'2" over here. Oh, 5'10" is plenty tall. Eat a dick, asshole.
Look, there's billions
Being a
of men
short
that are
king.
like 5'3" out there.
Fuck
Being
off.
a short king is okay.
Anyways, like they would have had to put Andrew Garfield on some pretty high boots if they wanted him to be Andrew Elordi level and have that same like presence of like domineering like over people and everything.
Mhm.
But like Jacob Elordi not only nails like the feeling of I have been awoken into like a new world, like a brand new consciousness and everything, like a scared animal, but his ability to get the audience to empathize with him, especially during the portions with the blind man, is
Mm-hmm.
incredible. I was transfixed every time that he was on screen with just like the way that he moves, the way that he emotes, with like a significant amount of like prosthetics and makeup on him and everything. Like it was just amazing. Like I was just stunned by like how great the performance was, especially like in like the time taking when he's like hanging out in the shadows learning how to read as like the child learns how to read, or like reading like complex literature with the old man. Oh my god, the wolves scene, like when he comes back, heart-wrenching, absolutely devastating. It just
Again, if you know the story, you know it's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
But god damn it,
Yeah.
it still hurts.
But this one kind of does. Like, and I think that was like based on the interview that
Well, I just
Del
meant
Toro
the wolves
did.
part.
Well, yeah, that. I mean, like this is one of the few like Frankenstein stories that has a somewhat hopeful ending where
Yeah.
it basically says like, yep, you're condemned to live forever. Learn how to deal with it, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
No, no notes. I completely agree. Mr.
Yeah.
Lordy, you did a good job. I hope you get an Oscar. Straight up.
Please.
Yeah. Like,
Give it to him.
all that, can you imagine how much makeup he probably did like every single day?
I can.
How many
I
hours
sat
in the
next to
makeup
the
chair?
I sat next to the guy who had to be painted blue every night for 2 weeks.
God. Yeah. Well, I think the ending is worth talking about.
Sure.
Because like even after all this tragedy that's happened between these two characters and how much like abuse and deceit like Victor has put the creature through, like he does still find some space in his heart to be able to lay him to rest and to let him go and let this like
Yeah.
quest for vengeance go, and like to look off into the Arctic sun and try to find some meaning in all of it. Like y'all really should go and listen to this NPR interview. Like it
very
hits,
good.
man. Like it really hits. Like Del Toro was talking about how like he based that scene off of like how he was learning to cope with the death of his father, and like eventually you just have to learn how to like process that pain. And like he was like, the sun doesn't care about my pain, but then he realizes later on it's like, actually my pain doesn't care about the sun, and I'm going to have to figure out how to process all that.
Yeah.
It's just really, really cool. Also, he based a lot of this, he made everybody like on production go read the book of Job, which I think is
Should.
just like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Where
also the
Job's
best book
just
of the
like,
Bible.
why? And God's like, why not?
Yeah, what?
God's like,
Because funny.
it'll work out. Not because funny.
Funny times.
Suffering
No,
builds character.
that's not what
Suffering
God-
builds character. Suffering
But it
builds character.
is suffering builds character.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the point of the book of Job. It's a good book. Even if you're not into the Bible / Torah / whatever your religious piece. Quran? Yeah, that's in the Quran. Anyway.
I think.
But I think so. Anyway, dude, final thoughts.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just like, oh no, are we already at that? I still have so many things because there's it's that much.
Rapid fire, real quick.
Well,
What's
okay,
on
I was
your
gonna
mind?
ask you. I would like sort of like as we tail end this. My question to you, Bodio, what did you think of the self-in-text referential nod to Percy Shelley?
I didn't hate it. There was a number of like self-referential. I guess it's not self-referential because Mary
Right.
Shelley didn't write this shit.
Well,
But
that's
like,
the thing. I'm just like, oh god, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Like-
Real
like
world
at one
timeline
point,
nonsense
Christoph-
right now.
yeah, like at one point, Christoph Waltz calls the character or calls the creature Prometheus, and I'm like, dude, fuck off. You
Right.
know what
Like
I
I'm
mean?
like, okay, there's like the aha roll credits moment. Like, yeah, sure, that makes sense to throw in here. But then it was just like we're just dead ass quoting Percy Shelley. And
Yeah.
then there he is again at the end of the film in the title cards. What are you doing here?
I think I equate that referencing another episode of our podcast. I think I equate that to like the Chainsaw Man shit. It's like, do you know the tale of the city mouse and the farm mouse? And like, I think that's just like the writer, the director being like, I'm well read.
Well,
Check
and
this
that's
shit
the
out.
thing that like irked me. I was like, I get you don't want the characters to quote, Mary Shelley, but it
Yeah.
feels for everything that happened to this story after her, and there's a whole other fucking encyclopedia of like the cause and effect that the relationship that her and her husband had with Lord Byron, and like
Yeah.
how this story, got taken away from her basically, as far as like, we've worked hard
like
to
100 years,
recredit.
right?
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
have been making effort to recredit this book to her. Like the fact that it's like, oh yeah, now we're gonna quote Percy Shelley and put him in the like final moments of the film. I'm like, I feel uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
think-
like
I
this
didn't-
choice.
I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't even think about it that way. That didn't occur to me.
Oh, well, because there's a lot in here that I think talks about like what was stolen from characters. Like
Yes.
what did they never have the choice to to even be able to get like to fight for in the first place, or they did and then lost it. The creature and the family. Elizabeth constantly, like, this is one of my favorite details, is that she is constantly like a bug. Costuming is beautiful, but she is entirely characterized in this: I am smart, I am capable, and yet I am beautiful, and so I am displayed like a bug in a case. I like.
Okay. Two things. I'm gonna take a real quick to talk about how I feel about Elizabeth, because I don't want to make this a very long episode.
Yeah.
But for folks who don't know, give the too long didn't read version of Mary Shelley's and Perry Shelley's.
Mary the Shelley.
Mary Shelley, Lord Byron. Give the too long didn't read version of their little situation.
Yeah.
Kaylie.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Basically, we do Cabin in the Woods with some rich literary weirdos who go off to an estate in one of the darkest years, there's volcanic ash, there's coldness, it's a bad time. Shit's not going great, and they're all writers and poets and do like a little, let's write a scary story competition. And Mary churns out Frankenstein.
After a dream.
Yeah. Also, same goth baddie who fucked on her mother's grave. We love her.
It's a weird detail that they let us know about her.
And kept the calcified heart of which one of her lovers?
Oh, I don't remember. Gothic queen, like, epitome, though. That's all you need.
Before we had TV.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was, I believe, her husband at the time put his name on the piece and sold the book. Yeah.
Percy went, because again, like, they're all writers in their own regard. Byron is a poet and affluent serial fucker of things and women. And Percy sort of, was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. I already have a claim, so let me just do. This is mine now.
Yeah.
Is for me?
Is for me?
It was published anonymously. And correction, not 100 years. She didn't get her name on it for like 20 odd years until 1831. Either way, it's weird to include anybody else outside of her in it, just because their relationship is famously a little distraught. But again, I didn't put two and two together, so I don't know how I feel about it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
Elizabeth. I think, like many adaptations kind of concede with that character, there's not a lot of space for her, and not in a women don't matter kind of way. And there's a lot we want to say about Victor, and there's a lot we want to say about the creature. Like, even in the principal text, Elizabeth is there to prove that Victor is still human, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, he is a guy. He's capable of love. He has this partner. There's a little bit of drama between him and his high school friend, but when you're young and you have friends, Mary Shelley also kind of writing about her own life there. It's like, I'm with this one, but this guy kind of likes me too. So maybe we bang on my mom's grave every once in a while, whatever, it's fine. I think the mistake that this movie makes, and I'll call it a mistake, is that they want to take that character and do kind of the female empowerment thing with her, which is good, and we should do that. However, it doesn't take the time to really establish that. It's a lot of like her being repressed, right? Like the idea of her being repressed, the idea of she can't go and do what she wants. I never picked that up. I think you as the audience have to say, okay, well, it's the 1800s. She's not a debutante, but like she's in this position. We have to do that.
She has the vehicles to move through not just social circles, but through like the fact that she's educated, she is knowledgeable, like absolutely shows the privilege that she has been allotted, and is certainly, if we're seeing the idea that she's spent more time with Henry as her weird eccentric uncle, that like absolutely there's room to grant that she's been able to do things. But
Yeah.
I think to that point, yeah, we're feminism girl powering her enough to update it, but I think also more to the point show that like, and again, maybe this is me harping on the like feminism side of the lenses and readings of things,
Sure.
that perhaps again the idea that the solution to Victor's problems is, you know, within the women of his life, that he either is too young to understand or misinterprets because idolatry, because fantasy and you know, just idolization in a different capacity than just taking it for what it is. Like, you know, his mother being taken away from him. Yes, he was too young perhaps to like learn some of what she was trying to instill in him. But also, Elizabeth offers sound and reasonable advice. And he says, no, woman. Like,
But he doesn't. He only does that in there's only one point where she's like, "Hey, he's a creature," or "Hey, he's a person." He's like, "No, it's not." Right?
Yeah.
That we see that happen once. Every other situation, I think we get lost in the fake romance that happens between the two of them. I think that
Sure.
takes up a lot of the oxygen. And again, I never get what her and William's relationship is supposed to be.
definitely. There's a lot that I'm like, but I want to know.
Right.
Like,
Do you actually
we're
love
jumping
William?
to the unsatisfied note right now.
Yeah.
But we're not kind of cluing in why. And
Is this
maybe
an
that's the
arranged
point.
marriage where you were in love with him at one point and then he didn't turn out to be who you thought he was? You
Right.
two are in like 4 scenes together, but I think you talk once,
Yeah.
you know?
We're just
I
doing
need
the adultery for fun.
Yeah, right? Like I think that takes up so much oxygen with her character to also to be like, "Oh, and she's a caged butterfly." I'm like, "You got to
Yeah.
pick one or the other."
No. There is kind of a dissonance in there. But I'm like thinking back on it, painting it broad strokes. But yeah, I would love to be like, where are these? Are there more clues in here that I'm just
Yeah.
missing? Or yeah, did we just not have time for it? Because
I
we'd
think-
rather do the sexy parts.
I think your interpretation is completely correct. However, I don't think they did the work to justify it. And that's
Sure.
my issue with that character.
I'm here to fill in your gaps. Dramaturgy.
Appreciate it, fam. Gibby,
Um,
you got anything quick to say about
Yeah.
Elizabeth? Outside of Mia Goth? Mia Goth, you're a fucking awesome actor.
Yeah,
Good
no,
shit,
this is
girl.
nothing
Yeah.
against Miss Goth.
Yeah,
Very
I think
fitting, by the way.
I disagree with some of the criticism I saw about her in that, like, I think there were some bad faith takes online about it's a love square, actually, and she's in love with the creature. And I
No,
was like,
she's not.
what? No, she's like found something in the creature that she's been searching for a long time, something that
Yeah.
she'll never find within Victor because he's too twisted, and she'll never find within William because he's too dull. Like,
Mm.
I don't agree with that, but I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
yeah,
I think she found you walked into your friend's basement and he caged his puppy to the wall and she's like, "What the hell?" You know? That's
Yeah.
What the dog doing?
well, I think about
not
like
good.
what it's like when like the creature takes her away from the wedding and everything like that.
The
Mhm.
wedding dress, the wedding sequence. Oh my
Oh,
god!
the petals coming down. You know what?
Oh,
It's amazing. I don't think that was even the best dress in the movie. I think
Victor's mom's dress in the beginning
yes,
of the movie.
that's the one
Dude.
with the way it's
Brother.
flowing. Holy
some of those
fuck.
fabrics do not look real, and I need to know where they got them.
Incredible.
I need
Absolutely.
them.
Cinematography, costuming is rad. I want to get that giant burning red-faced angel as a entire back piece now. I want that on me forever. That
It's
would be
pretty
a sick
sick,
tattoo.
dude. Like
There's
there-
also
My mom would kill me.
No, what were you gonna say, Gibby? I'm sorry.
that's the thing. Like, do I feel like there's criticism to be made about things like the pacing or occasionally the dialogue or like what they're going for with like the theming or like the characters? Sure. But it is just a movie that is aesthetically made for me. And I can
Right.
forgive so much because I'm so engrossed in it the whole time. Like the way the camera moves, the way that like outfits flutter with the wind, like the way that like the score, my
Yes.
God, when it's just when they reveal the laboratory tower on the hill. Oh my God, this movie was made for me. It's so
This
fucking
hole was
pretty,
made for
dude.
me.
Yep, and I'm jumping right in, baby. It just
I feel like this
oh.
is one of those films as well. Like the cinematography and every piece of it comes together so well. But what just seals the deal for me is that it's such smart filmmaking. Like it's
Mhm.
golden age symbolism. Like it things that you look at in like, in your cinematography, in the way you're setting up shots, in how you are doing transitions, things like that. Hitchcock, oh God, hello,
Hi.
Kubrick, your greats, just whatever. But I'm thinking of like Godfather. I'm thinking of hello, what I'm just thinking of the book title,
Say the book title.
hello, Heart of Darkness. What's the movie?
Oh,
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. But like things in this sort of broad strokes period of like golden age of film where it's like, oh, there are references, there are symbols moving through this movie the entire time, and this is just like scratching that itch for me. The way that Red traces through this movie, we
Oh.
start with that beautiful fucking dress at the top of the
Oh,
movie.
the dress.
We start with that red dress. We see the way that Red trickles through this movie. Victor's always wearing these patent red like leather gloves. Like the design choices in the background and the propage in the way that like we watch these things change over time, or who they go to, or what is a character wearing and what does that mean in reference to everything else. Like it's so clever. It's so good. I also have been thinking about this tweet, since this movie was like announced last summer, since we got the trailer. The tweet that says, Guillermo del Toro has the imagination and creativity of a woman who spends her time maladaptive daydreaming in her bedroom about meeting her soulmate in the most gothic situation imaginable, and that's why I love him.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But comparing Guillermo del Toro to a yearning, maladaptive, daydreaming woman is like so on brand.
I'm gonna
And
pretend like I know what that word means.
maladaptive daydreaming?
Yeah, don't define it for me. I'm gonna keep pretending
Great.
that I know what it means.
Look, the man said that he's a groupie for death, and honestly, yeah, our goth king right there.
We stan a goth king.
And also, he made Pacific Rim, so you know.
Man, they made this movie in a year. Take that,
Which
Hollywood.
is insane.
And not only that, like, made it using practical effects.
Yeah.
In a year.
God damn.
Fucking pull up. Rest
I'm
of
not-
Hollywood.
I'm not gonna say like the giant tower inferno was all practical effects, but I'm pretty sure
No,
that
but
like
still.
cadaver that like catches the ball, that's gotta be.
Or the fucking Medusa mural. Like, again, more symbolism. That was something that is like, yeah, it's one of the more obvious things, but it's like Medusa was not originally a monster. She was made into a monster and then cast out. That like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of these just like, yeah, they're in the background, but if you know the subtext or the text of those objects in question, it's like, okay.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're in another Frankenstein is one of those pieces that has lived forever, and we're in another like weird era where a lot of Frankenstein pieces are coming out.
The Bride, isn't that coming out this
The
spring?
Bride
Bonnie and
exclamation
Clyde.
point is coming out pretty soon. FX is having a Young Frankenstein television show.
Whoa.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
You got your Gene Wilder face on for that one.
But even so, I think they'll all be held to the standard that this movie put. This is the new standard that every Frankenstein piece has to hold up to. 1000% extra crispy, Mr. Del Toro. I salute you. Come to the pod. Let's play Street Fighter.
God, you got Bo to say a 2.5 hour movie was crispy.
Wow.
That's an
True.
achievement. Give him the
Got me.
Oscar right now.
Catch Bo watching that director's cut as soon as it drops.
Well, I relax. But who shouldn't relax is our lovely listeners. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Please follow us on your podcast listening, wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us 5 stars, comment, follow us on TikTok, all that good stuff. Join us next time where it's just 2 hours of me saying all the parallels between Frankenstein and Full Metal Alchemist.
God damn, I would be there.
Full Metal Frankenstein.
Frank Metal Alchemist.
Peace.
The Liberal Artists Podcast premieres every other Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform. The show is hosted by Bodio, Kaylie Horowitz, and Andy Gibson. You can find the show at Liberal Artists Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks to White Hot for performing the theme song Reflect, which can be found on freebeats.io. Now, I'm off to go exploring, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a sheep that I can call my own. Good day.
I got an email from like Venmo or something, or PayPal or whatever, and they were like, hey, you could get cash back by supporting your Girl Scout troop and buying Girl Scout cookies. I'm like, get the fuck out of my data. You know me too well. Stop it.
But also, yes.
But also, yeah, give me that. I need more Thin Mints.
Okay, I'll just... This is for later, since you're not a Game of Thrones guy. Robert Baratheon was the fucking dude, and this is how I see you with Girl Scout cookies.
Wine! What are you doing?
It's empty, Your Grace.
What do you mean it's empty?
There's no more wine.
Is that what empty means? So get more.
Yeah. Except it's Thin Mints.
But Your Grace, they're all gone. Then get more!
Would they let me bring a box? Or 4 boxes of Thin Mints on the plane?
Yeah! Yeah, of course.
I might buy a bunch of Thin Mints.
Buddy, if you think 4 is the limit on the amount of Thin Mints boxes that you can bring on a plane, you are sorely mistaken.
I need to pack clothes.